thanks for tuning in. If you check out my readings from earlier today, in which they're not dated or stamped, but you would see that I have on this same shirt in those readings. And I kind of have to do them in little increments just because I have a lot on my plate during the day. And this is one of my, like, it's a new endeavor that I'm going into because I really just love it. I've always been intuitive. I've always had gifts. And I was led to share, the lessons that I've learned in this journey that I've been on. And so, if you're on this page, you should see, you see the cover page. It will show you, or if you're watching it on the television, you should at least see where it's showing you. It's like a Twinflame documentary. And then I just share my interpretation of the energies and how I came into union with my higher self. Of course, I don't share it all here. I do have a Patreon, but I have not truly learned how to fully use it yet. That's neither here nor there, but you will also be able to get information to contact me on my services. In the email address will be in the description box below the video, and then sometimes I will comment with other things that I did not mention within the video, just if I have a chance to, if I remember. I like to just get as much out there as I can. And it is Mercury retrograde. It's the day after the lunar eclipse and the half-blood moon. We have 6 planets in retrograde. If you want to consider Nibiru a planet, then that's 6 of the 10 planets in retrograde, which is a hell of a lot of karma to deal with. Okay? So, as you may see, if you're kind of like, fishing around and checking out these readings, I love to check out the readings. I love to see the interpretations. I really do it to learn, because you never stop learning. If you want to teach, you have to continue to learn. Okay? So, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine are officially in union here in the 3D, in the earth and carnal realm of the physical. Okay? So it started in the mental, and Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine are not in the same location. It appears that Divine Masculine is... There's already one in the room. Okay, here you go. It appears that Divine Masculine is working on himself, and he's also traveling, or he has... Careful. You guys will have to forgive me. I'm always with my little people. It's very rare that I'm not with them. And so, as I was saying, Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine have come into union. And so some things are shifting. And the energies are exposing a lot of, dark intentions, if we want to give it a label. Okay? So Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine's union was targeted, attacked, and destroyed, is basically what the energies are avenging, honestly. So yes, it appears that Divine Masculine and Divine Feminine have been manifesting each other for some years now. So I couldn't say how many years it is. I don't honestly know that. And a lot of times with the energies, they are in prophetic like increments. So like a day being a month, and a month being a year, or something of that spectrum. But what we're gonna do is I'm going to ask the energies to expose what the divine feminine and divine masculine need to know to protect their union. You know, they have a bounty. The union is, you know, it's really priceless. So valuable is a word if you want to use it, okay? And so, oh goodness, my necklace has fallen off. Wherever it is, okay? And so, it's crazy how I do this, you guys, but it comes out how it comes out, and I read it how I read it. But it is what it is, okay? So, I'm gonna just go into it and get what I get of it, okay? So, we're gonna go over everything that is in reverse right now. So, serenity is in reverse, surrender is in reverse, love is in reverse, innocence is in reverse, shame is in reverse, wisdom is in reverse, and it's over the peace card. Shame is over clear audience, okay? We have here courage in reverse, and then compassion in reverse. Wow. Okay? But forgiveness is not in reverse, okay? So, prayer is in reverse. These are just all part of the lessons, okay? The way they fall out is the way they fall out. Compassion is in reverse. Okay? So what I'm being led to say is all the things that are in reverse are the lessons that you have learned, okay? So you have learned the lesson of compassion. You have learned the lesson of courage. You have learned the lesson of serenity. You have learned the lesson of surrendering. You have learned the lesson of humor. You have learned the lesson of grief. You have learned the lesson of shame. You have learned the lesson of trust. And so, what we want to work on, or what we want to implement into these unions as divine counterparts and twin flames, being on a mirrored soul journey, is what I get of it, okay? Everyone has their own verbiage for it, but it's, you know, like it's all in the same section of the, you know, of the grocery store, if you want to put it that way. So we have to work on gratitude, okay? So you may be ashamed to be, to admit that you are grateful, you know, about this union, or how important this union is for you. And then we have fear. And what I'm getting with fear is fear aligns with peace. And it's next to the lesson learned about humor and the lesson learned about faith, okay? So that's, if you have faith, you don't have fear, and if you have fear, you don't have faith. That's why it's like that, is what I'm getting. And then we have forgiveness and prayer, okay? So, prayer, grief, forgiveness, they're really close to each other. But the lesson of grief has been learned, the lesson of prayer has been learned, okay? So there's still the lesson needing to be learned of forgiveness, starting with yourself, okay? It's on the Divine Masculine's card, but it's next to the Justice card, okay? So justice is not fully served for your union until you forgive yourself for what you caused, okay? Whatever the lesson is with that, whatever you caused. You may have been a like a doormat and let your divine counterpart run all over you because you thought that you should do this, or you felt like you were forced to do this if you wanted to honor the angels in heaven and this relationship, this union being appointed and anointed. You know what I'm saying? So forgive yourself for what you did or did not do, okay? Because you've learned about grief and you have learned about prayer. So if you are praying, then you should be overcoming grief, okay? And then with these lessons are lessons learned. And then we have honesty, okay? We have honesty next to boundaries and anger. And what I'm getting for this is if you set up boundaries and be honest with yourself, you will not be angry when when all is said and done. People can only do to you what you allow them to do. We don't want to hear that. It sounds like crap. But at a certain point in life, if you are still allowing your mother, your cousins, your close friends, if you want to give them that label, to overshadow your twin flame union, divine masculine and divine feminine, whether you be a divine feminine resonating as a masculine or vice versa, or you could be a karmic. You could be someone's divine feminine and still be a karmic in this situation because you're not with your divine masculine and vice versa, okay? Or the situation itself, it has to turn karmic at some point or it's not a lesson, okay? So as I was saying, it's time to set these boundaries and be honest with ourselves about the boundaries that we had not set, okay? Don't be mad. Don't continue to be mad. It's nothing to be upset about. It's all in the lesson, okay? And then what I'm seeing here is courage. The lesson of courage being learned. The lesson of compassion has been learned, okay? But I believe this is innocence, okay? So innocence is next to courage, okay? So this is the lesson coming forth saying go inside yourself and don't deny yourself the healing of those childhood hurts and wounds that we pack so much of life on top of. Because that child, that inner child is what is...
Mama, do you have any water?
Not right now. I'll be in there in just a minute with some water, okay?
Okay.
Love you. These inner child lessons and this inner child work is what's going to make the difference in whether you can survive or whether your union will survive these attacks. Because even though, just because you've come under attack and your union has come under attack, and it could be your union to your higher self. It may not necessarily be your union with your divine masculine, but everybody's not going to like the fact that you have obtained enlightenment, okay? And so, your enlightenment is innocent. Your enlightenment is the youthfulness of, the journey resonating for you here in the 3D. And it's nothing to be embarrassed about. Okay? So, do the work. Do the inner child work. If you would like for me to work with you on it, I would love to. You can email me. You can find out all of my information through correspondence by email. And I do put it in the, in the description below the video. Okay? And so we have the surrender next to the gratitude. No. Surrender is next to, this is guilt. Okay? So we might feel guilt, and but the lesson with guilt is learned. So you know that guilt gets you nowhere. Guilt is in the event that you have harmed someone intentionally and you've not forgiven yourself. Whether you've harmed them intentionally or unintentionally, you have to come out of that. You have to come out of not surrendering, okay? Surrender to the journey and stop being angry that there's always more work to do, because the job is not done until you take your last breath in this journey. Get back in there, please, love bug.
Look at my hair.
You look beautiful. Now get on back in there with brother, sister. Okay, guys? So, acceptance. You haven't accepted yourself. How can you truly expect acceptance in a union? You know, how can you accept that this person loves every part of you if you're refusing to accept yourself? Be realistic, okay? Because this is over this Two of Wands card and under this Prince of Chalices card. And in the Prince of Chalices card, this is the oh my goodness, guys, the Wheel of the Year Tarot deck. Okay, the Prince of Chalices is a female. Okay, so you might be a divine masculine that is a homophobe and refuses to identify with any femininity that resonates in you or comes forth in you because of how you were treated as a child. And somebody might have told you, oh, if you just picked up an ink pen wrong, you're acting like a homosexual. Please don't do this to yourself. You don't have anything to prove to anyone. Every part of you is a necessary part, okay? And so if there's something you need help with, once again, I reiterate, please do contact me. We can get something, a plan specifically set up for you so we can go in and identify these hurts, okay? Because it does hurt when you don't feel acceptance for who and how you naturally are, especially by the people you love the most. They are the ones that we would assume will accept us initially, Excuse me. And as you can see, I'm choking up. So once again, this is that immature communication, or even being not completely unwilling to communicate to others that you don't give a damn how they feel, okay? Because your divine feminine, divine masculine, or your divine masculine has fallen in love with you and all of your flaws, okay? So let's remember that. Don't be afraid to know that you have been accepted, and it may not be by who you thought it would be, okay? Build your own tribe. Rebuild your tribe. Rebuild. This is what this retrograde is about. The contract says that even a good man will fail 7 times, okay? That's bibliotextual reference. You can look it up, and you can Google, and maybe the verse before it and the verse after it, or the paraphrase before it and the paraphrase after it, will bring enlightenment to you. Okay, guys? But I didn't want to make this video too long. It's actually into 18 minutes, and I try to keep them short, so they will definitely upload. Please check me out for my next video. Like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you can get these videos as soon as I'm able to create them. Thanks so much for the support. Peace, love, light to you. Catch you next time. Next video.